Hello, I'm Debs. This is Debs Made This. Welcome. I have for you 2024's review, favourites and failures. Favourites and failures. So hello. I don't think I managed to do one of these last year, and this year I'm nearly kiboshed by the fact that there's still a good 4 inches of snow outside, so the light is dreadful. So excuse my lights from very many sources to try and get some illumination on the proceedings. So 2024 has been a year of different making for me. I have made less things. I've made about 50 things, which sounds like a lot, but obviously remember, if you're new to this channel, I am currently off work sick, so I don't have a full-time job apart from children and house and things, and I don't really do house very much. So I do a lot of sewing, and it definitely is something that I feel enriches my life and makes me feel much less anxious and able to do some of the things that life calls on me to do. Put it in context, I think the year before I made 92 things, not all for me, obviously, some for some other people. So 50 is a lot less, and I kind of could mark that from the middle of the year. I definitely made less things through the from the middle to the end of the year, and I had some reflections about that, and I'll link my What to Do When You Sew Joe Goes video up here somewhere. So I have most things to show you, and so I'm not gonna, there's videos or Friday sews for most of these things, I think, so I'm not going to spend ages on anything. If you want to know something more about one of them, just ping me a question down below, and we'll go through. Start with trousers. So I made 12 pairs of trousers or so. I do wear a lot of trousers. I hadn't quite realised I'd made so many trousers, but yeah, there's a huge variety. So so the first pair of trousers I made was actually these, which are slightly crumpled. Apologies in advance. I have steamed some of them. Some of them are still really crumpled. I tend to wear my woven trousers, keep my woven trousers folded, unless they're of like wool fabric, and then they're hung up. I don't know why I do it like that, but I do. So these are my Glen & O's trousers, which I made in February time, I think. These are a lovely pattern, and I don't know quite why I haven't made another pair, other than that I've been enjoying making this pair in a green twill with a lovely coordinating waistband, in some stuff I had left in my stash, and a label. These are a really good pair of kind of higher waisted wide leg pants with a cuff. Super make, have been worn a ton. At the same time, I made a wool pair of Arthur pants. Now, the year before, I made a duvet covered pair of Arthur pants. So I realised how large these were and sized down one size, I think I made a 12. These have got a fly front and an elasticated waist, so the best of both worlds. I've made them in a wool suiting. They have flat fell seams, and these haven't had quite as much wear as I thought they might. I think because they are so oversized, I feel slightly drowned in them. But now we're kind of into the season when I would wear them again if it wasn't so soggy. I also added about an inch to the length of the leg, and I didn't need to do that. I think it's messed with the proportions slightly. So the other option is that I could take them up, but obviously you can see that they've got kind of a barrel shaped leg. So obviously you want the barrel to be at the right point. So yes, they have been worn, and I have enjoyed wearing them. They feel very comfortable and very breathable because they're wool, thrifted wool from the Cone Exchange. Pair number 3 was a departure. So this is the Nelson pants by Helen's Closet, and these are possibly the comfiest pair of trousers in the history of the universe. They're like a yoga waistband, stretchy pants, and this is like a really nice quality jacquard knit. I think I sized up slightly because it didn't have quite the stretch that was intended, but I also made a little top and a vest, which I haven't got, which I often layered up with these in springtime. Now, I have been wearing these recently over the top of with a wool jumper and a t-shirt underneath, just because it's been really comfy to kind of mooch about the house in. So yes, big thumbs up for the Helen's Closet Nelsons. We went back to my faves. I'll put in a picture of me in these because I think I did a styling video for these. These are the Belleville jeans made in a heavyweight linen. And I also made an LB Textiles Davis crossbody vest which I really like with them. I love that kind of part tailored vibe. Again, another barrel shaped leg. I love these. They have been worn tons and tons and tons, and I was still wearing them in October, November time. So who says that linen isn't an all year round fabric? Next, I think, although these might have been a bit later in the year, are these very, very crumpled, in a heavyweight linen Yanta overalls with a facing made from some leftovers. These need a bit of a tweak. I still think I haven't quite got these right. I think I probably need to put a zip in, but we'll see. I'll see where I am as I start to wear them in the springtime and see whether I need to make some changes. It's kind of always tricky, isn't it, to know how fitted to make some things. And I can definitely get in and out of them, but I kind of want them slightly more snugged, but they have a Be Strong, Be Happy, Be You label. So we love those. Next, there were some Winslow culottes. These are really crumpled because these are in my mending pile. These are the only fail, I think, in my trousers, really. And they're not really a fail, they just are too big. I gave away a smaller pair of these because they didn't fit me and decided I would kind of recreate something very similar in a larger pair, but I just have given myself too much ease. I don't know how I ended up with a waistband that's too big. So because it's a bit of a faff to sort out the waistband, I haven't done it. They've just sat in my mending pile. So I will get to those, and I might even get to those for spring because I can see those laid up a little bit. And joyful trousers. So that's not a fail on the pattern. The pattern is wonderful. That's just me and my measuring. Goodness only knows. I think I must have just decided to give myself a little bit extra. Next came the Oxbows. So if you have seen me in real life in the second half of this year, I have probably been wearing these. I haven't got my fancy button on. I have a button that press studs on because it needs to come off because it's ceramic, so it has to come off. I love to sew. This is made in thrifted denim from the Cone Exchange, and I love these. I think some of it is the colour, some of it is the fit and the cut. They are really similar to the Lander pants, which are also a big favourite of mine. I love these front pockets. I feel incredible in these, just like me. I love these so much. Huge thumbs up from me for the pattern, the fitting. They just fit me. They're awesome, awesome trousers. And it's a lovely pattern and beautiful instructions. If you have any fear about doing trousers, and you want to do like waistbanded, proper woven trousers, I'd go with these. And then I had to put my Gig Big Girl pants and use some precious fabric to make another pair. So this is another pair of Oxbows. I had 2 meters of this Ruby Star Society canvas. These are crumpled because they haven't been worn as much because they're obviously much lighter weight than my denim. I love these. They're cut on the cross. Shh, don't tell anyone because I couldn't get them out any other way. I've got my Positive Pants label on, and I have been wearing them often with a white shirt and a V-necked sleeveless jumper is kind of a really common way, and my blue blazer over the top. I've worn these loads and I love them. Oxbows forever. There is, I'm missing one. The other pattern that I made in the summer were the first pair of chanterelles. Hang on a sec. In the summer, I made my first pair of chanterelle pants in this double gauze that was in my stash, thinking that these would be really good for kind of pyjamas, loungewear, house trousers. Worn these loads, inside, outside, any which way. Love these. Love, love, love these. I then went on to make, I haven't got them, those will still be in the summer box, this pair. There, I'll put a picture. This pair of blue ones in an Atelier brunette cotton linen blend, which is just the best trouser fabric combination in the entire world, possibly. I really, really love them. So I made them in double gauze. I made them in linen. I then went on to make them in flannel. I'm just taking these off. Because they're just lovely. I thought I would only end up wearing in the house, but again, I've worn them outside. It just shows you I don't really care what anybody thinks of me anymore. This is Art Gallery flannel. It's beautiful fabric, and I have made a pair. I've got another pair of flannel ones planned and a pair of French terry ones planned. There is also a zip front hack, and I am going to do that in my spring trousers as well. So there will probably be a trousers roundup because I now have a lot of trouser patterns. So yeah, if you want more details on how trousers fit, which ones I recommend, then let me know and I'll do a trouser roundup vlog. So that was the year's trousers. And I think of them, you guessed which was the winner, didn't you? The winner was the Oxbows, both versions, but this version for the win-win. Closely followed by the Bellum Night because of the matching top. So speaking of matching tops, there is also in here, this is much loved and much worn, possibly nearly the most worn garment of the year, I think. So this is the pom-pom vest, which is a free pattern. I made it for So Frugal. I made it out of the remnants of my Arthur pants, I think, with this was another remnant to line it, and this has been worn loads. I really love that kind of tailored look, so that's a really strong recommend. I wore this loads it was part of my 10 by 10 capsule that I did in October, I think, and I'll link that video here, but yeah, that got a lot of wear during that. The first is this, which is a two-piece. This is the Tessuti, don't know, I'll put the So Frugal video in there. Multi-elastic, it's free pattern, multi-elastic, and this is out because I'm trying to work out how to style this at this time of the year or for spring or something. So I think if I layer this up either over a dress, a shirt dress, not this one perhaps, but a different one, or make like a kind of layered slip to wear it with, and then I can put a long sleeve t-shirt underneath it. This didn't get a lot of wear, mostly because of the summer we had, I think. So I'm hoping that I haven't made a mistake with this. I think the jury's still out on this one. I like the pattern, and the pattern is really like the Pattern Fantastique skirt harmonic set, which I'm supposed to have made a couple of years ago and haven't got to it quite yet. The second skirt I made is definitely the winner if the skirts are having a competition. This is made of a wool remnant that came from Felicity Fabrics, lined with a very old copper viscose lining, which came from my friend Alison's mum's stash. This is really old fabric, and I just loved the combination of those two together. I have loved wearing this. This is the slate skirt, which is a closet core crew pattern. And I kind of was trying to make sure I'd got the fit okay before I made a long one. I haven't quite got the fit okay. I've got a bit too much room, which at this time of the year doesn't matter so much because I'm often sticking a jumper in. I've got a copper coloured wool jumper that I wear loads, which I've been wearing with this. This is like a firm favourite, but I think I probably need to reduce the waist size as we currently stand. And I was trying to decide if there was a way to do it that left it kind of expandable, you know, like the cashmerette Miriam trousers. I haven't made those and I haven't got the pattern, but they've got like a band which kind of feeds into itself so that there's some give, because I really like that tailored look, but I just want the flexibility as my body is changing to have clothes that still fit me. I'm going to do outers next because there's not very many. Let's do outers and then I'll pause for a minute. So the first outer of the year that I made was probably my most spectacular fail of the year. This is Heather Blazer. Really nice pattern, just not the pattern for me. I've made it in this really cute striped, kind of almost jacquard. It's got like a stripe in it and the stripe's made of something different. So it was interesting to work with. It took me 4 goes to get the sleeves to sit right. It's lined just with an acetate lining. I think it's a nice acetate lining though. And you can see my stitches where I've been in the back and done some surgery several times. I cannot get this to fit me right. I think the problem is it's oversized but kind of fitted further down, so it's more oversized at the shoulder than it is at the hip. I have a navy ready to wear wool blazer which is nearly the same fit, which I love, so I'm not quite sure what's gone on. I have kept this because I think it might just be a mindset thing. It did take me a lot of wrangling to get to, so we'll see. I also have 2 meters of this left, and what I might do is to make my first Jessica in it, but we'll see. The next outerwear piece is this, which I love. This is the free handbook vest by Sewing Therapy. So Sarah has, I've just pattern tested for a jacket and shirt version of this. This is completely reversible. It's made with a boiled wool and a remnant of ruby star. I made this entirely by hand on our Easter holiday, and I love this. It's really good for layering up with. The colours are just delicious, and look at the back of that. So yeah, strong recommend for the hanbok vest. And obviously, if you made it on a machine, it would be a really quick make. It just takes quite a long time if you hand sew it. So let me know of your trousers and outerwear. What are your faves from this year? Trousers, skirts and outerwear. What are your favourites from this year? What are your favourites of the ones that I've shown you? Today I am wearing, before I forget, this is a Pattern Scout Birdie, which is an old make, maybe 2020, I think. Also, I love this. It's made in a wool challis, the nicest fabric. If I could find the same fabric with different prints on it, I would buy it all. Mr. Rosenberg, all of it. I did do some sewing for other people this year, and I did a little bit of accessory sewing. I think I made 2 or 3 wearable blankets for various family members, which are a big hit. I also made quite a lot of Christmas presents, and I made some pyjamas for some special people. This is the only bag. I think this is the only bag I made, apart from a project bag as a Christmas present. And this is the Luf bag, the egg bag from So Liberated. I love this. This has been worn tons. I can't remember the name of the shop I got all the bits and pieces from, but I shall link. I'm sure I've done this in a video, so I shall link it. And it is lined with that lovely Nerissa Hansen lion and coyote, I think, in a fairly bright colourway. And yeah, I did a hand stitch bias binding on the inside. Yeah, very much used right the way through, and obviously it's an absolute max for my oxbows, which is quite nice. Right, are you still here? If not, I'm going to put chapters down below, and so part 2 will be dresses and tops. The tops is going to be a bit carnagey. Now, I have had an outerwear. I'm not going to call it a fail yet because I haven't given up quite yet. This is the Amara vest by Tessuti Patterns. I'll put a picture in. I don't like this on me at all. The boiled wool was a Rainbow Fabrics boiled wool phrase at the edges, so it's not quite fit for purpose. I have had a stab at reducing the size to try and make it fit me a little bit better. It just kind of, it was either massively oversized or was sitting like really weirdly over my, I've got really big trapezius, like these shoulder muscles are massive on me because I've been a big swimmer in my time. Yeah, so some of it I'm sure is my body meets the pattern, but yeah, I just was a bit sad because actually as a layering piece it would be a really useful thing. But yeah, that's still in my sort this out pile, of which I haven't got very many actually, but it's just the ones that tend to sit there for a while. And the other odds and ends make, I've got 2 of these and I couldn't find the other one. This is the Sunstar swimsuit by Helen's Closet pattern. I make quite a lot of swimwear. This is a lovely pattern. It has got a seam just kind of under the bust, and in a plain fabric it looks quite obvious that there's a seam. In the pattern fabric, this is a Liberty swimwear and it's lined with a nude lining. This one doesn't have quite as much stretch as my toile, so it's slightly snug around the boobs, but better too snug around the boobs than not snug enough when you're doing proper swimming in it. So yeah, strong recommendation for that as a pattern. That's the Sunstar by Helen's Closet. Next, dresses. Maybe 5. I think there's 5. Is there 5? Am I telling you lies? We'll try and start them in order. So this was supposed to be my Christmas dress in last year, the year before last, 2023, and I didn't get it made, so it ended up being a New Year dress in 2024. This is the Stocks Eve dress. If you have not heard me wax lyrical, I shall put the pattern review here. This is a beautiful pattern. The fit through the arm's eye and the back is lovely. This panel on the back is cut on a bias, so you get so much more movement. You can make this in a wool fabric and make it as a coat. Its sister pattern, the Eve, is similar but has a V-neck at the front, and that's on my plans to make this year. The fabric is a Dashwood Studio quilting weight. I can't remember, boho something it was called. Anyway, it says it in the thing. And this is a much beloved dress. I really, really love this. I've worn it as a duster, and you'll see in the video me styling it in different ways. I love this dress. Number 2 for the year is creased, not because I haven't worn it, but just because it's viscose. This is in this, they cheetahs or jaguars? I did know and I've forgotten. Anyway, this big cat print from Rainbow Fabrics. This is a lyra dress. I think I was the last person in the world to make a lyra dress, mostly because I made a fibre mood for Liz first, which is really similar. I love this dress. I love this dress. It's slightly lightweight to wear unlayered up, and it is quite a long version, which is why it hasn't had a lot of wear in the last couple of weeks. But yes, that's normally worn quite frequently. I love it very much. Next we had, I think this was the next one. This is the Merchant & Mills Scout dress, which didn't get as much wear as it deserves. I love this pattern. It's really nice. I would strongly recommend, if you have a kind of relaxed tailored aesthetic, this is a perfect pattern. I ummed and ahed about making another one with long sleeves, but I don't know if I want that kind of such an easy silhouette. For the summer, it's beautiful, and I love the tie. Yeah, so who thought I would be making a pink apples dress with a tie? The next dress to come along was one that had waited. Did I work out 5 years? I think this waited 5 years to be made. I can't remember which is the back. That's the back. This is the Stasia dress by So Liberated in this luscious Art Gallery Fabrics knit. This had been planned for such a long time, and I think I really wish I'd have had more fabric and been able to make a slightly longer one. But this is a knee-length dress, and it has pockets in. This was worn in the summer. It didn't get quite as much wear as I thought it might. So I'm going to see how we go next summer on it. I think I might need to take the pockets out. So the pockets are kind of not sitting hidden particularly well, and I think it's changing the line of the dress. So I might well take the pockets out next year. But again, this is one that we're going to see how it's looking as we come into warmer weather again. But it's a beautiful pattern, and I love that I made t-shirts, which probably won't be here, they'll probably be still in the loft, but I made a couple of t-shirts which have been worn. It's a really nice scoop neck. It's quite a narrow shoulder, so just be warned if you're someone with a wider shoulder. And the final dress of the year, I think you've probably all seen fairly recently, which is this. I have put a pattern review on the channel recently. This is the Trend Patterns Riviera dress, which I wore to the Knitting and Stitching show, which has a very big white thread on it. Sorry for the white thread. This is a very beautiful dress. The pattern was a bit of a tricky one, but not insurmountably tricky, just a little bit more difficult, made a bit more difficult than it needed to be by some of its components. Yeah, so I'll link my review of that because I've talked about that really recently. Those, you would have to pay me some money to get me to get rid of any of those. I only made 5 dresses, but I really love all of them. I think my favourite is the Eve dress, just because it feels, as an aesthetic, it feels very me. I have some Tencel denim in there to make one this year coming, and I couldn't quite decide if I was going to do the puff sleeve version or just to make another just plain denim dress version. So we'll see how we get on with that one. Now we have tops. I have got a lot of tops, and most of them will not be here. So I'm just going to talk to you about kind of standout ones maybe, or my favourite ones. So I was a pattern tester for this, very creased, which is the Gothra blouse, which has tucks. This has got less wear than I would hope, just because it needs ironing before I wear it, and I'm realistically I have to be fairly determined. I love this with those oxbows though. This is such a nice pattern. So this is by Capsule Patterns. I have another one of theirs I think I'm gonna make up soon. But yes, I love this Gothra blouse. Very nice. I also made this. So this was part of the other things that I managed to achieve last year. So I did quite a lot of hand sewing. This was entirely constructed by hand, although the fabric did not thank me for it. There was a lot of shifting and moving. This is my second version of the Fen shirt by Pattern Fantastique in a wool silk blend that came from dead stock from Fabworks Mill. This hasn't had as much wear, I think, again, because it was quite a kind of complex make. And I often find that if I've got something that was kind of difficult to make, it seems to echo with me for a little while. So I'm going to see how this goes. It also has this very curved, you can probably see this very curved seam. So it ends up with a lot of room, which means trying to put things over the top. You can't wear it with like a waistcoat because the waistcoat would come in too much. So yeah, you could wear things underneath it. So I could style it with a turtleneck underneath it, but you can't kind of layer it with a blazer or anything. So yeah, that's kind of sitting around with the jury's still out on that one. We have much loved, slightly grubby maybe, Jenna shirt by Closet Decor. This was my toile version. I have some Nanny Eero double gauze in there to make the proper version, but this has been worn and worn and worn. This is my bananas in pajamas outfit for recreate the look. Yeah. And I wore this all summer. I love this. Absolutely love it. Super pattern, just the right amount of oversized, not too kind of slouchy, but just feels kind of effortless. Such a beautiful pattern. If you have not got this, get this. I'm going to make the dress version, I think, really soon. A lot of these are quite crumpled because they've just been retrieved from the summer box in the loft. This is the rest of that Lion and Coyote, which I nearly didn't buy because I thought it's not my colours, it's far too bright for me, but I loved it. This is the assembly line cuff sleeve top, my first version. I really like this. I didn't think I would. It's all the wrong shape for me, but actually as a chuck-on woven top, it is just lovely. It has these really big cuffs. Yeah, love this. And then I went on to make another version by hand with some shoulder adjustments. Sorry, getting a bit crumpled now. In this bit of thrifted Liberty that was a skirt that had kind of not been finished, and so I reclaimed the Liberty and made that by hand on our summer holiday, and that one's had lots of wear too. The woven one I'll talk about is this, which is the Onal blouse. I do have another one of these, but I couldn't find it. This one I've done a hack. This was a So Frugal make. I haven't worn this very much. Again, this is seersucker like the skirt, and I wonder whether some of it might be a texture thing, but we'll see. So the hack I made was it has like a puff sleeve that's kind of 3/4, and I didn't have enough fabric, so I just put a cap sleeve on it, and it's quite a cute silhouette. So yeah, jury's out on that one. I'm not sure about that one. I have a few knit ones, some of which I won't have. And what would I make? I made LB Textiles Wyland tanks, lots of those. I made another Zoe tank, and I made a couple of long sleeve ones, which you'll see if you look back on the channel. There's lots of striped t-shirts. I will do a t-shirt vlog at some point. And I made this. This is kind of in between a dress and a top. This is the Alabaster. It's called the Alabaster top, again by Closet Core Crew. And I've been wearing that to do the few treatments that I've done this year in. It has a big slit at the side. It's a nice pattern. I like that, and I love the colour of that one. There, I've got two more. The first, I couldn't go by without mentioning this. I don't think I ever made any other jumpers last year. I still have quite a lot of jumpers in my collection, which are looking a little bit tatty, and there probably will need to be some kind of sweatshirt things going on. This is the So Liberated Nest sweatshirt, which has this lovely patchwork detail on the front, sewn in French terry, and I kind of top stitched mine with a silk hat by hand with a silk white thread. I really like this. It's not a great colour on me, and the shape of the neck means it doesn't look quite right layered up with some things. So I'm kind of working on the wearing it for colder weather thing. It looks fine with a t-shirt underneath, but it's just trying to find something extra. It also looks really nice with those lovely flannel chanterelles. That's like a kind of loungewear wardrobe staple. Next is one that was supposed to be a toile, and then I never got round to making the reel. This is very crumpled, sorry. This is the Deer and Doe. No. Oh, that's not bad. Out of one. Just did not remember one. Jumpsuit pattern. This is really nice. It has that gap at the back for ventilation. I have several fabrics queuing up to be one of these next year. So we'll see how we get on with that one. This one was made from a duvet, and it also had a Scout tee as my toile in the same stuff. It's a bit heavy, for kind of comfy wear, but no, feels nice when it's kind of a cooler summer day. It's perfect. Apart from jersey t-shirts, that's nearly everything that I made in 2024. These are some of the standout ones that I missed. I hope that that's been interesting. It means I can put them all away again now. I will be along fairly soon with some ideas about how I'm planning for the season and year to come. Let me know any faves, any comments. If you enjoy this, I don't know whether that was good or not good. I kind of was just going to do my tops and top favourite ones, but I just thought, while I've got things out, I may as well show you. Let's just say bye-bye. I hope wherever you are in the world, you are finding time to rest and replenish and do some making if that's something that brings you joy. And I should say bye-bye and God bless. Take care.